Right, so Arunima, I'm reading total 6 points. Total 6 points are there, and I'm reading the crisp of those points. So the Excise Department, the first one is the Excise Department on the direction of Manish Sisodia decided to refund the EMT amount that was rupees 30 crore to elder bidder of license of airport zone. This is the first one. The second one is that the Excise Department, without approval of the competent authority, revised the formula of calculation of rate of foreign liquor and removed the import fees that was at rupees 50 per case on beer. The third one is the Excise Department relaxed the provisions. The fourth one is that they actually in total gave some sort of relief to the alcohol merchant by allowing waiver amounting to rupees 144.36 crores. And the other one is that government floated a tender by incorporating a condition of setting up minimum 2 liquor vans in each wards without undertaking any excise due diligence to ascertain the viability of opening of just 2 vans in each ward. So initially, it was the main point of the opposition parties that Arvind Kejriwal government is actually increasing the number of liquor shops in the national capital. While it is about the ward-to-ward calculation, they were actually doubling the shops in some zones. So at this point in time, there are 6 total points onto which LG has recommended this probe, and these 6 points have been given by the report that has been given by the Chief Secretary. And initially, this policy was implemented in November 2021, and after that particular implementation, we saw how different political parties, in fact, different groups came out in opposition of this particular policy. But at this point in time, this is a major setback for the Arvind Kejriwal government, where LG has actually recommended this CBI probe into the excise policy that was implemented in November 2021, Anurma.
Right. So just break this down in simple terms. Exactly what is the violation under the Prevention of Corruption Act? The tender being given, norms being flouted there is something that you're pointing out. But prima facie, does it look to you that LG is convinced that there is a violation of the PC Act in all these steps that you have just enlisted?
So it's a financial quid pro that is being mentioned by LG. So he is saying that Manish Sisodia at that particular time, gave benefit to those who were near and dear to him, and there's a financial quid and pro. This is what we are extracting from this particular thing, Arunima, and this is somewhere, the violation of all those norms, Arunima.
Right. Nikhil, talking about the politics of it, already there's a clash going on over the Chief Minister's Singapore visit. That permission, or in all likelihood, would be denied. LG has already advised him to not go. Close on the heels of that comes this recommendations. Does it look like an all-out war between the central government and the state government here in the national capital?
The full-fledged war which has been declared between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Delhi LG, VK Saxena, because yesterday, as mentioned by you earlier as well, that there's this flashpoint on the Singapore visit where, despite the a no which has been given by the Delhi LG, the press note has come from the Chief Minister office that he is going to go ahead with the same, and the application has been filed before MEA. And now the another flashpoint has come in for the excise policy, and the excise policy is something, Arunima, you see, which has been benefiting at large for the Aam Aadmi Party. If we talk about the national capital Delhi, if we talk about apart from politics as well, close to 700 to 800 liquor vents have been opened in the national capital, and if you visit any of the liquor vents, you see huge rush which is flown inside the liquor vents, and people, the residents of the Delhi, they are consuming liquor more than ever before. In fact, the people from the NCR region as well, from Gurugram, from Ghaziabad, from Noida as well, they are visiting because of the low prices. We have seen the offers as well, Arunima, one-on-one. If you purchase a single beer, if you purchase another liquor, you get one-on-one free, or either 25% discount is something which has been given. And the Delhi BJP...
Getting the first political reactions, RP Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party is with us on the broadcast. Mr. Singh, LG finds there is prima facie a violation of the law in the excise policy. In all likelihood, MHA is going to accept that recommendation and ask CBI to register a case?
Well, long back, Delhi BJP has filed a complaint to Excise Department, and which was pushed under the carpet. The basic norm for any excise policy that there will be no cartel which will be allowed. There are cartels which are allowed. No manufacturing company will be allowed in retail. Manufacturing companies were allowed in retail. So now we'll appreciate that the CBI go into detail and then expose the government and then pin down the people who are involved, who have taken money, because there is a lot of humor or a lot of word spoken in the city that a lot of money exchange hand between the ruling party and the liquor mafias.
Right. Sir, there was a time here in the national capital when the Chief Minister would sit on a dharna not very far from where we are coming live. Outside the Rail Bhavan, we actually saw the Chief Minister sat on a dharna against his own government. Then it looked like both the Chief Minister and the Lieutenant Governor had turned a leaf. They were trying to cooperate. Do you get a sense now that we are going back to what we had seen in the early days of the Aam Aadmi Party government?
Well, it has nothing to do with the confrontation between the two. It's basically identifying and finding out the truth. What is the truth behind the tinkered, altered liquor policy or the excise policy, which is giving favor to certain liquor mafias? It's regarding that, and also your correspondent was right now telling that they were because of policy change, the consumption of liquor has gone up in city. We don't understand which government will like the liquor consumption to go up in city. That clearly shows that they were handling with people who wanted more liquor sale in Delhi, and that's how, as I told you, there are pointed issues regarding tinkering of the liquor policy in city.
Right. Mr. Singh, I'll request you to just hold on. Let me also bring in Mr. Ravi Srivastava. He's a political analyst, but in the past has put out the stance of the Aam Aadmi Party for us to understand as well. Mr. Srivastava, RP Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party points out how there was a problem with the Aam Aadmi Party's excise policy. Not only when number of liquor shops being increased in Delhi, but the recommendation from the LG seems to suggest that there could have been some quid pro quo as well as far awarding of these contracts are concerned.
As far as LG's remarks or comments are concerned, so he is a government BJP's agent. So his remarks have got no. As far as the liquor vents in Delhi are concerned, Arvind Kejriwal has not raised any liquor vent over there. He has only done the moderation of the liquor shops, where the liquor was being the way you must have seen, used to fall over each other at the closing time and otherwise, and the shop used to look like a jail where the barracks were made and some barricades were made over there. What Arvind Kejriwal has asked, it should be a proper seating place where people can taste the liquor, where people can come and buy the liquor, and the women can freely come over there without any security concerns, and they can also buy a liquor. He has not made any radical change in the liquor policy at all. I am in Karnataka and Bangalore. I have seen the shops are swanky shops are there for the liquor. And the thing that does not come and see in Bangalore what shops are here. And what is wrong with that? There are beautiful shops where people can go sit over there, buy liquor at a recommended price at an MRP and buy the liquor comfortably. And everybody can go, men, women, both can easily go and take it. So he has not made any changes in Delhi.
That you are encouraging alcoholism, and not only that, not only is the objection moral, the objection is also legal, that all this is happening in return for quid pro quo. Some favor is being granted to the liquor manufacturers, the liquor shop owners, and they in turn are favoring the Aam Aadmi Party. That's the charge.
Mr. RP Singh has to prove it in the court of law. Or he should bring out an evidence that there is a quid pro quo with the Aam Aadmi Party government or Mr. Arvind Kejriwal and the liquor company. Nobody can improve the sale of the liquor. Those who want to buy it, those who want to taste it, those who want to consume it, will consume it. The sale will not stop by opening making the shop a good one or a clean one or a swanky one. The sale will not go up with that.
You want to respond to that? Don't play moral police.
Yeah, it's not the moral issue side. The issue is of technical issue. And as I said, it was clear in the liquor policy, the new liquor policy, no cartels were allowed, whereas cartels were allowed. It was clear in the new liquor policy that they would not allow manufacturers to get into retail, whereas manufacturers are allowed in retail. So these are the technical issues which need to be investigated. And let the investigation take its own time, and let things be revealed. And ultimately, we'll come to know that how.
I also want to bring in Alka Lamba of the Congress Party into the conversation. But before I come to you, Alka ji, I want a very quick word from you, RP Singh Saab. Aam Aadmi Party people, their members are alleging on social media about the timing of this recommendation. They're alleging that ever since Aam Aadmi Party is coming to power in neighbouring Punjab, the Bharatiya Janata Party cadre is rattled, and all these recommendations are a result of that. That's what the Aam Aadmi Party's cadre is saying on social media.
Well, I'll send you a letter which we have sent to the Chief Minister almost a year back and to the Excise Department a year back about how the complete excise policy has been tinkered and how the favors have been given to cartels and the manufacturers. So it has been pending almost a year, and then they have tried to push it to the carpet. They have not investigated the matter. Now the LG has recommended for the CBI inquiry, let doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani happen, and let people know.
Okay.
Sorry, sharab pani ka pani happen. I'm sorry, sharab ka sharab, pani ka pani happen. Let people know about it.
All right, Alka Lamba, first reaction. RP Singh says दूध का दूध पानी का पानी नहीं, शराब का शराब और पानी का पानी होने दीजिए, इन्वेस्टिगेशन होने दीजिए. योर रिएक्शन?
देखिए, एलजी साहब ने ये जो कार्रवाई की है, मैं निजी तौर से भी उसका स्वागत करती हूँ और एक अपील भी करूंगी. भाजपा इस तरह के आरोप लगाती है, फिर ब्लैकमेलिंग करती है और फिर उसके बाद क्लीन चिट सर्टिफिकेट दे देती है या ठंडे बस्ते में जानकारी जो है जांच चली जाती है. हम एलजी साहब को कहते हैं सराहनीय कदम है, जरूरत थी इसकी होने की, लेकिन फास्ट ट्रैक में इसकी जांच करिए, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी करिए, क्योंकि ये है कि दिल्ली के अंदर जिस तरीके से लाइसेंस दिए गए, उनसे आरोप लगे कि जिनको लाइसेंस मिले उन्होंने करोड़ों का चंदा पार्टी फंड में दिया है. और दिल्ली की लिकर पॉलिसी का जिस तरीके से पूरी दिल्ली को आपने देखा है कि किस तरह से हर गली हर मोहल्ले में शराब की दुकानें खुल गई. अभी आपने एक वारदात भी देखी कि महिलाएं जो थी स्थानीय विरोध कर रही थी, तो महिला मार्शल से उन्हें पिटवाया गया. तो अरविंद केजरीवाल के ऊपर बिल्कुल ये सवाल खड़ा होता है. हम इसका स्वागत करते हैं जो जांच है, लेकिन ये जांच 3 महीने के अंदर हम ये मांग करते हैं पूरी करके दूध का दूध पानी का पानी करके सच्चाई लाई जाए. दोषियों को बिल्कुल इस सजा मिलनी चाहिए. सरकार में बैठे हुए वो लोग, सबसे पहले दिल्ली के जो हमारे मंत्री हैं मनीष सिसोदिया जी, वो इस कटघरे में आते हैं. शायद इस बात का अंदेशा दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को भी है, इसलिए वो बार बार कहते हैं कि मेरे एक मंत्री ईडी ने 1 महीने से अधिक समय हो गया सत्येंद्र जैन को बिठाया, और अगला नंबर वो खुद बार बार कहते हैं मनीष सिसोदिया जी का है. यानी कि उन्हें मालूम है कि कहीं ना कहीं ये जो लिकर लाइसेंस में इन्होंने धांधलेबाजी की है, करोड़ों रुपए के लाइसेंस रेवड़ियों की तरह बांटे हैं और चुनावी चंदा अपनी पार्टी में लिया. ये आरोप इन पे हैं, इन आरोपों से इन्हें साफ निकलना होगा, और ये एक उनके पास मौका है कि अब जो जांच बिठाई है उसमें वो राजनीति मत करें और सामने आए, सारे कागजात, सारे दस्तावेज, सारी जांच में सहयोग करें. और हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि एलजी साहब और मुख्यमंत्री मिलकर इस जांच को, बिल्कुल इन आरोप को जो है तुरंत इस पे कार्रवाई करके दिल्ली और देश की जनता को बताएंगे कि सच्चाई क्या है.
Ravi Srivastava, that's a very strong charge from Alka Lamba that these excise licenses were given, the permission to open liquor shops was given only to people who then contributed to the Aam Aadmi Party's party fund. That's a very strong charge from the Congress Party's member there. Why should anybody object to it? If there's such strong allegations are being made, shouldn't Aam Aadmi Party national convener, shouldn't the party itself say, all right, investigate and we are confident we'll come out clean?
End up in the and always CBI or anybody, they don't follow this kind of follow up. We should remember that all these licenses were given that Sheila Dixit ji's regime just prior to 2015. It is nothing new. Arvind Kejriwal has not given to any new party as a license. And as far as the liquor cartel is concerned, the manufacturers are approved by the government only. Arvind Kejriwal does not approve any IMFL license. All licenses are given by the government. So if he has given it on the competitive basis by following a proper purchase procedure, I don't think anything wrong. Let there be CBI inquiry. Who stopped it? And he is doing a wonderful job as far as the liquor dispensation is concerned in Delhi, where there are a lot of black money and lot of violence on the top. happening every day.
Okay.
The
All
shops
right.
were
All
looking
right, Mr.
fake.
Srivastava, appreciate
Innocent.
you taking time out. Thank you also to Alka Lamba and RP Singh. It's ironic that a party which came to power on the line of corruption, became crusaders against corruption, are now being accused of corrupt practices as well. They, of course, are alleging that this is political witch hunt. We'll have to wait and see what the CBI probe says in this matter. For now, we are keeping our focus on the opposition's onslaught against the government. So it's another day, another protest.